to After Metropass, the show after the show about the show. I'm your moderator, Bryson Wallace, and I am so excited to get into it. Last night's episode was another fantastic episode of Metropass. However, there seemed to be a certain rift in the system that caused us to, for whatever reason, happen to see a half hour of this Chris Gethard show, which I'm not as familiar with, and I want to talk about all of it tonight. You can leave a comment in this live stream if you have anything you want to talk about. There's other ways that you'll be able to interact with the show, but I want to get to my guest tonight, who is going to talk with me about everything about last night's show and any other things he's got on his mind. Please help me welcome to the show Matthew Roth. Matthew, are you there?
Yo, what up, what up? How you doing, my man?
Oh, hold on one second. There we go. Matthew Roth. There it is. Now you're on screen. Matthew, so good to see you.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about yourself? How did you enjoy last night's Metropass with Timothy Simons?
You know what? It was another classic episode of Metropass. It seems like since they've moved to this new network, everything's been great. And, you know, there were some hiccups where we didn't know if Metropass was going to be coming back. But, man, killing it this year, right?
Metropass,
this season is killing it.
Metropass is doing phenomenally. Last night's episode, however, there was one thing that bothered me as far as constructive criticism about last night's show. I am not familiar with the show Veep, so I'm not as familiar with this Chris Gethard character. Do you watch the show Veep? Are you familiar with Chris's work?
I'm a little bit familiar with Chris's work. Veep, I'm mostly just around for, you know, it kind of just runs in on HBO. So when I'm tired and I need something to watch on HBO Go, I watch Veep. Not a diehard fan though. So Chris Gethard, kind of, you know, I think he's one of those people that you can you can take him or leave him.
Yeah, you know, and I was not familiar with this one-man show that he's doing. It does not seem up my alley. I just did not, the man's style just did seem to clash with Metropass's usual lineup of guests. So that's what I took a little bit of issue with last night's booking of Chris Gethard.
Yeah, I mean, if we could be honest, I mean, Chris Gethard seemed kind of shitty. Like he seemed like a really shitty, arrogant person, and maybe that's just from, you know, living in Hollywood for so long, but. He doesn't seem like a man of the people anymore. I think that, you know, I wasn't a fan. I'm not a fan of his attitude. I think that he's not what we've come to recognize or love about Metropass. And honestly, him just disrespecting our guests by just playing with his fidget spinner, I hated it. Like I think that that's the part which I didn't like about the episode, is that the arrogance of Chris Gethard just playing on a fidget spinner, it just was unnecessary, and it was horrible. It was in bad taste.
He seemed certainly to be disrespecting not only the show, but as you said, our host, our guests, everybody. Chris Gethard, I would not wish to see him back on Metropass. I want to open up the phone lines, if you're okay with it, Matt, to all of our viewers here. Neil Valley in the comments is saying that he didn't feel public access at all. I agree. Chris Gethard did not feel public access in the least bit. So, Neil, thank you for that comment. If you'd like to talk with Matthew and myself, if you have any constructive criticism about last night's Metropass, please give us a call right now. Let me bring up the phone number if I could. Our number is 420-BIG-PAN-6. So if you could please give us a call, 420-BIG-PAN-6 is the number to call if you'd like to discuss last night's Metropass with Matthew Roth and myself. Now, Matthew, would you agree that Chris Gethard did not fit into the public access vibe at all last night?
Oh, not at all. I mean, what we've come to love about Metropass is that it's appreciative of the arts. You know, like we talk about theater, and it just seemed like Chris Gethard is a typical Hollywood type, where he really just doesn't want to be there. It almost seemed like his agent forced him to be there.
Yes.
But maybe he got in trouble with the law, and it was like community service. Like, this is his community outreach, is being on a public access show to speak with the common folk. But I didn't feel like Chris Gethard belonged there. I didn't feel like he fit in. Honestly, I don't want to see him again. I think that Metropass is better off without Chris Gethard.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. Just a reminder to folks out there, if you do want to talk, have any constructive criticisms about last night's show, please give us a call now, 240-BIG-PAN-6. I'm seeing that Mary says that Chris Guy was too Miami Vice. Agreed. Again, his overall vibe just did not seem to gel well with the Metropass audience. Joe is saying if there's any conspiracy to the Big Pan 6 in our phone number. I'm not entirely sure what conspiracies there would be. That's simply the phone number that we were given for this show. So please do give us a call. 240-BIG-PAN-6 is the number to call. Matthew, any other thoughts of last night's show? We did have Oak and Chris going back and forth reciting lines from Chris's unfortunately one-man show. Did that seem to resonate with you? Did Timothy's directions resonate with you at all?
I think it proved that Oak is a quality actor. Mm-hmm. He's somebody who clearly has spent time learning his craft and perfecting his craft. And Chris Gethard he just seems like the type to half-ass it. And maybe it's just that's who he is. Maybe it was just an off night, but it seemed like he was getting outshined by Oak at every step.
Certainly. Now, did you take... were any of Timothy's continued golf lessons of any use to you in your golf game?
Oh, man. I haven't actually been able to hit the links. It's been raining all day in Austin. I'm actually stuck in the house with my two dogs. So I haven't actually been able to hit the links. But it's been great because I'm such a diehard fan of Metropass. I rewatched it today, so when I do get back on the links, I'm definitely going to be taking those that advice and hopefully add it to my game.
Perfect. Now, Matthew, you cannot tell me that you are currently with two dogs and not show me the two dogs. Would you mind showing us the two dogs?
Well, there's one of them. Hey, Dallas. Look at you wagging your tail, Dallas. Well, hello.
First dog sighting. Is there a second? Oh, look, that's a close-up doggy. Look at that doggy.
And the other one is right over here. What up, Austin?
Oh, so they're Texas-themed dogs.
Oh, they're Texas-themed dogs. I am house sitting for people that went to Texas A&M, so there is Texas all over this house. And I got my two buddies, my two nephews, as we like to call them down here.
Now, if this were a lower show, I would ask you to go around the entire house and count how many Texas items and have a high-low competition with our commenters. But we know that this is of a much higher status, this show, and I won't ask you to do that.
That's true. But let's say if the viewers really do want to see it, I will definitely count all the Texas things. You got to give the people what they want, right?
Certainly. If you would like to see us count every single Texas item in this house, please do leave us a comment down below. Looks like folks are saying beautiful hounds. Thank you for asking for those doggos. You are certainly welcome. I am glad that we could deliver on this. Please do give us a call, 240-BIG-PAN-6, if you have anything that you'd like to discuss about last night's Metropass with Timothy Simons, or if you have anything in regards to theater that you would like to discuss. I am sure that we can be of service there. I'm just going through any of my notes there. I unfortunately did not have an opportunity to rewatch the episode today, so I'm just going off of my knowledge from watching live yesterday. But I think we've covered it already. This Chris Gethard, certainly not our favorite element of last night's show. Any other thoughts from last night's show? The band really seemed to be on it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the BFFs.
Yeah.
I think that it's nice seeing a bald-headed frontman. I'm a bald man as well. And so seeing a bald man take some control in Bill Florio is amazing.
Yeah. Yes, certainly. The band was just so on it last night, just the perfect combination of style and class. Please do give us a call, 240-BIG-PAN-6. I see a fair number of people in our comments. We do want to talk to you live on the air. If you could, please give us a call, 240-BIG-PAN-6. Let's see. Neil is saying Timothy's hair was very much on point for last night's episode. It certainly was. Timothy's overall look, I would say the beard even, perfectly trimmed. Matthew, you and I are both bearded gentlemen. However, we keep it a little more unkempt.
Right.
Madison,
I'm definitely rocking that the homeless vibe in Austin right now.
certainly, and Timothy's is a lot more sculpted and presentable. Exactly.
He needs to show up at the Tonys. He's a member of the media. He needs to show up to the Tonys. He does a lot of red carpet events around Manhattan. He needs to be sculpted and well coiffed. So it makes sense for him to have his beard, on point.
Yeah, he looked fantastic for last night's show. Madison in the comments is asking for a bop bop. Matthew, would you care to give Madison a bop bop?
Bop bop.
Madison, I as well will give you a bop bop. Madison, please give us a call if you're available. 240-BIG-PAN-6. If we get no calls, Matthew and I will just sit here and gush about Metropass for as long as you want. But Matthew, I don't know if you have particular instances of favorite Metropasses of past. I particularly was very fond of the 2016 Year in Review holiday special that Timothy produced. I thought that was a very fantastic show as a look back of 2016. Particular guest of note on that one was Gilbert Gottfried, made a rare appearance onto Metropass that evening, which was a pleasant surprise. Matthew, do you have any particularly fond memories of Metropasses of old?
Oh man, I'm a fan of Quiche Night. I'm always a fan of Quiche Night. Mm-hmm. I think that Quiche Night is one of those nights of the year that the diehards we love. And even if we're not in Manhattan, even if we're not near the studio, we still celebrate, in spirit, if not in real life. So I'm a fan of Quiche Night, and we're going on. Shoot, it's going to be like Quiche Night number 6 coming up this year. Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait.
Have you been in attendance for any of the live tapings?
Yes, I actually have been in attendance for the live tapings. After that, the considerable break, I was actually at the season premiere of this current season of Metropass, and it was a lot of fun. It's nice actually meeting the community and being part of a show live that you've been a diehard fan of for years. So seeing the season premiere, a lot of excitement on what it's actually going to be. Is it going to be, the same show, or is it going to be something different? It was a great experience for me, man.
Yeah, what format it's going to take after those long hiatuses, like you mentioned. We never know what we're going to get when Metropass comes back. It's had its own evolution over the years, and I am quite frankly very pleased with where it is right now. Huge fan of Metropass, as are all the Metro heads out there. So if you're a Metro head,
I'm personally a fan of the theme song. I think that the new theme song is great. Yes, I believe it almost sounds like Mario Paint.
Yeah. Yeah, I did pick that up a little bit. I believe I saw you in Metro Heads making a mention of that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great that they were able to get the clearances for that. If you're a Metro Head and if you're watching this, please do give us a call, and we would love to talk to you. Oh, it looks like I'm getting phone calls, but it looks like it's screwing up which devices it's taking them on. Oh no, this could be terrible. Wouldn't be an after Metropass unless I had audio-visual issues. Give me a second here. We're just going to awkwardly try to fix this.
Kill time.
Yeah. Phil. All right. If you just tried to give us a call, please do try to give us another call. Oh, boy. This is really screwing up. Oh, our phone call's just done for? Yikes. Ugh. Matthew, I wish it wasn't. I wish it weren't.
It's okay, man. This is what public access is about, right?
Certainly. But, we always strive to have amongst the Metro Heads community a certain higher level of product. But let's go to googlehangouts.com. Let's try that instead. Yucks. Is my internet just terrible?
I have a question for you. Now I have a question for you while we're trying to resolve this issue.
Yeah, please.
I'm of the opinion that if this was the first episode of Metropass that you watched, it's probably not going to make much sense, especially as you said, it seems like we hit like a space-time continuum issue about halfway through.
Yeah.
And then we got this weird like instance of a Chris Gethard show, which, man, just knowing his personality in our episode, I have no interest in watching it like his TV show. He just seems like an arrogant individual that doesn't care about people.
And how weird was it seeing Timothy in that context? That seemed out of place, that he wouldn't be hosting the show and that this Chris character would instead.
But Timothy, classy guy in both instances, like it seems like he's the constant. He's always going to be who he is.
Yes.
But I think if that was your first time seeing Metropass, this may not be the best episode for you to watch. I think that it's possible that you may be turned off by seeing somebody like Chris Gethard on your TV.
Yes, this was certainly not a great episode for a regular Metropass viewer, or a new Metropass viewer, I should say, to jump into. This just didn't make much sense unless you were a part of the Metropass community. It does appear that I have fixed potentially the phone calls. If you did just try to give us a call a little bit ago, please do try to give us another call. But Matthew, I would agree 100% that this was a very niche episode of Metropass that I would be interested to see how a new viewer would take in.
Yeah, I think it's just diehards of the show are going to love it.
Yeah,
and people that have never watched it before, I don't think that this is probably the best show to introduce them to.
No, certainly not.
Yeah, but super fun for us.
Yes, of course. Looks like somebody's giving us a call, and I don't know how this is working. So let's go ahead and try to answer this phone call. This Metropass computer that I am using is particularly slow. I don't know what is happening with the phone calls right now. Oh, yucks. All right, if you just tried giving us a call, give us another call, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what the hell is happening. I am so sorry for my language on Metropass, on After Metropass. I know that we expect a lot more. Boy, we just might not take a call, Matthew, but I believe that we've had a lovely conversation. Have you been enjoying yourself? I'm
enjoying myself, man. One thing I actually did want to bring up with you, in that brief instance that we got to watch the Chris Gethard show, they were talking about moments of your life that changed everything.
Yes.
And I want to know from you, what is the big fork in the road that you think that you hit where things completely changed from where they were supposed to be?
Matthew, this isn't me avoiding the question. We are getting a phone call. Hold on one second. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Madison from Baltimore.
Madison from Baltimore. Thank you for calling the show. How are you doing tonight? Oh, now we've got a ton of people calling. No, we're not taking any other calls. We're talking to... Oh, I just hung up on Madison. Oh, Jesus.
What are you...
I am so... This is ridiculous. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Roth, and I am from Brooklyn.
Was it Roth?
Roth? That's
Roth?
My first name.
Roth is your first name, like Matthew's last name?
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Okay.
I'm a girl, too.
All right. And you're calling from Brooklyn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for joining the show, Roth. We're talking about last night's Metropass with Timothy Simons. Do you have any constructive criticism of last night's show?
Well, I have criticism of just Matthew in general. Typically, he is too good of a friend, and he's too nice, and he's just like, I don't know, he's like too much of my favorite. Hey, Matt Roth.
Hey, Matt Roth is what Roth is saying right now, and she's also kind of she's saying that she loves you. I was going to say
intoxicated.
She's Roth, I should mention that Matthew cannot hear you, and you cannot hear Matthew, so I'm playing telephone right now.
Oh, that's too bad. Yep. No, this is Matt Roth's really good friend Jordan, and I love him, and I just want him to do an awesome job, and I love him
Jordan,
so much.
Is Matthew Roth currently house sitting your house, or are you a different person?
No,
different person.
that's not me.
Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, because that would be really funny.
Right. So you're just a big fan. You're a big fan of Matthew, and you just want to share how much you are an admirer of Matthew Roth's just general vibe. I am too, to be frankly.
Just the general vibe. I mean, I don't love him as much as like dogs love him, but pretty close.
So dogs apparently love you, Matthew. That's the word on the street.
They do. So,
wait, so he
I
can't
can
hear
tell you
me.
my moment.
He can't hear you. He can't hear you. So, sorry, but Matthew.
Okay.
I'm just getting Matthew's reaction to whether or not dogs love him.
They do love me. It's actually my profession is dogs.
Your profession is dogs. Your profession is dogs.
Yes.
Now, the person on the phone that used an assumed name, I didn't catch your actual name because it happened so quickly. What's your actual name?
Her name is Jordan.
Jordan. Well, Jordan, did you happen to tune into Metropass last night, or are you just a big fan of Matthew Roth? Both? So please, outside of being a fan of Matthew Roth, which we can all agree is a thing that we're all on board with, what did you think of Metropass last night?
Sorry, I'm distracted by a message from the Matthew Roth. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic. What were your thoughts on this Chris Gethard individual?
Let's have that as my reaction.
Okay, that's your reaction. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for the call. Matthew, do you have any parting words for Jordan here?
No, I will speak to her later.
Okay, Jordan, it sounds like Matthew will have a private conversation with you later. Jordan, it was a pleasure talking to you. I hope to talk to you again sometime.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a great rest of your
night. Have a good time, y'all.
Now that Jordan, what energy? Well, let's see, Matthew. I'm going to look at the time here. Matthew, if we can get one more phone call, I would love to. Madison, I'm so sorry that I hung up on you accidentally. Technology is being terrible tonight. But if you're out there, if you want to give us a call, please give us a call. Neil Valley is questioning in the comments Metropass singles night, and Teresa is saying yes, please. So it sounds as though amongst the Metropass community, there is interest in having a singles night. Matthew, are you interested in a singles night?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get the whole Metropass community together at some sort of gala, I assume, with fancy tables and uplighting. We're getting one more caller. Maybe this is Madison. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Madison from Baltimore. I'm back.
Madison, I am so sorry I hung up on you. I was trying to ignore the other call, but we'll get into it later. Madison, thank you so much for calling. Do you have any constructive criticism of last night's Metropass?
I just wish there were more pop-pops.
You just wish there was more bop-bops. Well, I think Matthew and I will oblige right now. Bop-bop. Matthew?
Bop-bop.
Listen, Madison, that's what we're all looking for every single Metropass, so we are happy to oblige here. Any other thoughts of last night's show?
I'm a first-time viewer, and I was a fan. I will be tuning in again.
See, we were just talking about this. Matthew and I were just talking. Madison, this is her first time viewing Metropass. So, Madison, you found the episode as a first-time viewer palatable because we thought that the episode was ruined by this Chris Gethard individual. I don't even know how to say his name.
It was confusing.
Certainly.
I still enjoyed it, though. Not gonna lie.
All right. Well, Madison, we're so happy to have you as part of
weirdo.
We're so happy to have you as part of the Metropass community here. Please feel free to interact amongst our community here on Facebook in the Metroheads Facebook group. We would love to see you more in that group. But Madison, I hope to speak to you again sometime. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Bop, bop.
Bop, bop. All right. And it looks like my computer has effectively frozen from that phone call. So let's just end this, Matthew. What do you say?
That sounds great. Sounds great.
Matthew, any parting words before we end this after Metropass?
You know what? Just truthfully, fuck Chris Gethard. He truly ruined that episode for me.
Now, certainly, we usually have a decorum here on After Metropass. We usually don't use as strong of language there, but Matthew, I completely understand the emotions behind the sentiment. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to speak with you soon. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
It's been great. Thank you.
All right. So let's go ahead and close that up. For everybody here at After Metropass, I do appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, I believe I'll just leave you with a bop bop, as it were. Good night.
Time, a concept and an herb, a reality and a fiction. It has no rewind function and no fast forward. It's present in every permutation of existence. More real and more valid than the next. A world by proxy is still just that, a world. A world whose inhabitants claim its validity as you would your own. Because the only thing you can be sure of is the reality you're in, the one you allege to know. But can you ever be sure about that? It's September 28th, 2017. A Thursday, New York City. The temperature is currently 77 degrees. And looking into to this weekend, we have a slight chance of rain on Saturday with a low of 52 degrees, leading into sunny skies on Monday and Tuesday. But this is to speak of the future. Time moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Tick-tock, tick-tock, says the clock. Ticky-tocky, ticky-tocky. That's the noise of my clocky-clocky. Look at my clock upon the shelf. Is there an elf? I see no elf. Time is slippery, so hold on tight and don't blink, because you may just miss time passing you by.